I never thought a simple family dinner could unravel everything I held dear. It was the night before Thanksgiving, and the kitchen smelled of roasting turkey and cinnamon apples, the kind of warmth that had always wrapped our home like a blanket. But as I watched my daughter-in-law, Lisa, stir the gravy with that tight smile, a chill ran down my spine. My hands trembled on the serving spoon, not from age, but from the secret gnawing at me, the one I'd carried for months. Tests don't lie. Toxins. Slow poison. And every drop had come from her hands. You see, it started innocently enough, like most betrayals do. I'm Evelyn, 68 years old, widowed for a decade now, living in the same cozy two-story house in suburban Ohio, where I raised my only son, David. My husband, Tom, passed from a heart attack while fixing the garage door, mid-laugh, hammer in hand. David was 25 then, just starting out with Lisa. They met at the community college where she studied nursing. She was 22, with those wide blue eyes and a laugh that filled rooms. I remember the first time she hugged me, her perfume like fresh laundry, whispering, "Mrs. Harper, you're the mom I always wanted." I melted. Who wouldn't? Life settled into a rhythm after that. David got his engineering job at the auto plant, steady pay, good benefits. They bought a starter home 10 minutes away, but weekends were ours. Sundays after church, I'd have them over for pot roast, the table groaning under mashed potatoes fluffy as clouds, green beans snapped fresh from the garden. David would tease me about my overcooked carrots, and Lisa would chime in, "Evelyn, these are perfect, better than my mom's canned ones." We'd play cards afterward, rummy mostly, with David cheating just enough to make us laugh. The air would hum with easy chatter, the tick of the grandfather clock in the hall marking time like a heartbeat. I was close to David, always had been. Maybe too close, some might say. After Tom died, he became my anchor. We'd talk late into evenings on the porch swing, creaking under starlight, about his dreams, her classes. Lisa fit right in, helping with dishes, suds up to her elbows, steam fogging the window. "You're so strong, Evelyn," she'd say, drying a plate. "I hope I can be like you someday." I beamed, passing her the towels. Our bond felt real, mother-daughter without the blood tie. She'd confide in me about wedding jitters, her fears of not measuring up. I shared stories of my own rocky start with Tom, how we fought over money that first year. It bonded us. Holidays amplified it all. Christmases with tinsel dangling from every beam, her baking gingerbread men that David devoured like a kid. Birthdays, too, her 25th, I surprised her with a pearl necklace, heirloom from my grandma. She gasped, hugging me fierce. "This means the world." David watched with that proud grin, squeezing my shoulder. "Mom, you're irreplaceable." Our little unit felt unbreakable, the kind of family you see in old photos, faded but full of light. But looking back, there were whispers of strain. Lisa's shifts at the hospital grew longer, her smiles a touch sharper. David mentioned her snapping over small things, forgotten laundry, late dinners. "She's just tired, Mom," he'd say, rubbing his neck. I'd nod, brewing her chamomile tea when she visited, the steam curling like secrets unspoken. I chalked it up to young marriage blues. Who was I to interfere? My role was supporter, the steady rock. Evenings alone, I'd knit in my rocker by the fire, needles clicking softly, replaying their visits. The house felt fuller with them. Little did I know, that fullness masked a poison brewing not just in pots, but in hearts. It crept in slowly, that first autumn after their 3rd anniversary. I remember the day clearly, leaves crunching underfoot as I raked the yard, the air crisp with wood smoke from neighbors' chimneys. David called, voice tight. "Mom, you okay?" "Lisa said you sounded off last night." Off? I'd felt queasy after her casserole, but shook it off as indigestion. Turkey tetrazzini, her specialty, creamy noodles scented with sherry. "Just ate too much, honey," I laughed it away. But the nausea lingered, a dull wave in my stomach. Then it happened again. Weekly dinners became ritual. She'd insist on cooking, "Let me treat you, Evelyn." Her lasagnas layered thick, bubbling cheese that pulled like taffy. I'd compliment, fork pausing at the richness. But afterward, cramps twisted like knots, sleep fractured by trips to the bathroom. Flu season, David shrugged when I mentioned it. Lisa hovered, pressing ginger ale into my hand, her fingers cool. Rest up. We need you strong. I ignored it, stubborn as ever. At 68, you think your body's just complaining about age. Joints ached more, fatigue clung like damp fog. Doctor visits yielded shrugs, vitamin deficiency maybe. Blood work normal. I pushed on, hosting Easter brunch, her honey-glazed ham slicing pink and perfect. But as plates cleared, dizziness hit, vision spotting black. David studied me. Mom? Lisa's eyes widened, concern etched deep. Evelyn, sit. I'll clean up. Subtle shifts in her, too. Less chatter, eyes flicking to David when I hugged him goodbye. Once, catching her staring as we laughed over old photos, Tom's fishing mishaps. Her jaw tightened, just a flicker. I dismissed it. Jealousy? Over a son? Preposterous. By summer, the unease settled deeper, like roots twisting under soil. It wasn't one big sign, but a trail of small ones, each dismissed until they piled like autumn leaves. David's birthday barbecue. I'd marinated ribs overnight, the tangy smoke curling from the grill as neighbors milled about. Lisa brought her potato salad, creamy with mayo and crisp celery snaps. Family recipe, she beamed, spooning generous heaps onto plates. Mine tasted fine, but hers, after the first bite, a metallic tang lingered on my tongue, faint as old pennies. That night, fever gripped me. Shivering. Under quilts, sweat beading cold on my forehead, I texted David at 2 a.m., not feeling great. Your salad, maybe? His reply ping quick, Mom, rest. Lisa says it's a bug going around. But no one else got sick. Just me. And Lisa, watching from the kitchen doorway next morning, mug steaming in her hands, her gaze lingering too long. You look pale, Evelyn. Want some tea? I started noting patterns. Dinners she cooked, always the worst aftermath. Her chicken divan, golden crusted with broccoli flecks, hours of bloating, heart fluttering erratic. The roast beef she slow-cooked for Father's Day, gravy silky smooth, nausea crashing like waves, forcing me to bed early while they lingered over pie. David noticed my withdrawals. Mom, you're skipping dessert again? I'd force a smile, plate pushed away. Saving room for your cake, hon. Suspicion flickered, but love snuffed it. Lisa was family. David's wife. The girl who'd cried on my shoulder after her own mother's passing 2 years back, burying her face in my sweater, sobs muffled. You're all I have now. How could I doubt? Yet questions gnawed. Why did she hover when I ate her dishes, eyes sharp like a nurse charting vitals? Why the private whispers with David after, his nods tight, her hand squeezing his arm? One evening, alone in the kitchen, I stared at leftovers from her shepherd's pie. Ground beef rich, peas popping green. I scraped a bit into a zip bag, heart pounding, and tucked it in the freezer. Paranoia, I told myself, rinsing the dish with hot water rushing loud. But sleep evaded, the fridge humming like accusation. Fall brought escalation. Church potluck, Lisa's apple crisp, cinnamon whirls bubbling under crumb topping. I took a small square, polite. By him 3, cramps clawed my gut, forcing an early exit. Pastor Bill patted my back at the door. Evelyn, you all right? Looking peaked. I nodded, waving off concern, but drove straight to urgent care. The doc, young with wire glasses, poked my abdomen. Dehydration, probably. Any new meds? None. Run some bloods. Results came days later. Elevated liver enzymes, trace metals, antimony, subtle. Uncommon, he said over phone, voice cautious. Seen in old paint chips or certain foods. Keep a food diary. I hung up, diary trembling in hand. Every entry circled her name. Lisa's meals. David called that night, worry threading his voice. Mom, doc say anything? I hedged. Just watching diet. Lisa chimed in background. Tell her I'll make soup, healing kind. My stomach dropped. No more. I started declining in bites subtly. Busy with garden, I'd say, weeding roses till dusk, thorns pricking like warnings. But they came anyway, surprise casserole on porch, foil warm under autumn sun. Can't let you starve, Lisa smiled, hugging the dish close. David unloaded groceries too, her idea. Gratitude mixed with dread as I portioned it into baggies, freezer stuffing full. Behavior shifted hers more. Snappish at cards one night, my win at rummy drew eye roll. Lucky hand, huh? David laughed it off. Babe, mom's on a streak. Her smile didn't reach eyes, fork scraping plate loud. As she cleared, I caught her glance at David hugging me goodbye, jaw clench, quick as lightning. Jealousy? Over him? The thought chilled. I'd always been close to my boy, porch talks, his head on my shoulder after bad days. Lisa knew that. Once, early marriage, she joked, David's got 2 moms now, lucky guy. Laughter then. Now, silence stretched thin. I confided in Mabel, church friend, over coffee at the diner, vinyl booths creaking. Think I'm imagining Mabel? Getting sick after her food. She stirred sugar slow. Pray on it, Evelyn. But trust your gut. Gut racked still. That night, alone, I thawed a sample under kitchen light, yellow and congealed. Poured it down sink, watching swirl away. Enough ignoring. The breaking point came mid-November, pre-Thanksgiving prep. David texted, dinner at yours? Lisa's excited. Stomach nodded. I replied, potluck style, bring sides. Neutral ground. But resolve hardened. Time for truth. I called my primary doc, voice steady, toxicology screen. Full panel. Appointment set. Samples from freezer bagged discreet 5, labeled dates, her dishes all. Driving to lab, leaves swirling in rear view, prayer whispered, Lord, let it be nothing. But deep, a whisper answered, or everything. The lab results arrived like a thunderclap on a clear day, sealed envelope in my mailbox, crisp white against the faded wood. I waited until evening, hands steady as I slid it open at the kitchen table, steam from chamomile curling between us. The words blurred first, antimony confirmed. Chronic exposure. Sources, food contamination suspected. Quantities low but consistent, building over months. Not accident. Deliberate. My breath caught, chest tight as Tom's last gasp. Pages detailed symptoms matching mine. Fatigue, gut fire, heart skips, all from her meals. Liver strain, kidneys stressed. Seek immediate consultation, it urged. But the real gut punch, antimony and trace pesticides, old rat poisons, or certain syrups nurses handled. Lisa. Her nursing badge flashed in mind, stethoscope around neck at dinners. Disbelief crashed first. Not my Lisa, the girl who'd sobbed at Tom's funeral, clutching my hand in the pews, mascara streaking. How will we manage without him, she'd whispered. David holding us both. Family. I rocked in my chair, creak echoing hollow, tears hot on cheeks. Why? Flashes. Her glares when David kissed my forehead, her stiff hugs lately. Jealousy twisted ugly. Phone trembled as I dialed David. Come over. Now. Alone if you can. Voice cracked. He arrived 20 minutes later, coat dusted snow, brow furrowed. Mom? What's wrong? I slid the report across oak table, lamplight pooling yellow. His eyes scanned, color draining. What? This can't. He sank into chair, rubbing temples. Lisa's food? No. Lab error. We sat in thick silence, clock ticking accusations. Symptoms match every time, I said soft, tracing a vein on my hand, blue-ridged from strain. Her casseroles, salads, gravies. All. He shook head fierce. She's a nurse, Mom. She'd never. But doubt flickered in his eyes, same as mine once. I pulled freezer bags from behind cookbooks, 5 samples, frosted labels, Lisa's pie. October 15th. His fingers hesitated, then bagged one. I'll take to work lab tomorrow. Quietly. That night, sleep fled. Pacing carpet worn thin, I replayed moments. Her smile serving pie, eyes locked on my first bite. Good, she'd ask, tilt head. Concern or cue? David left at dawn. Kiss on cheek lingering. We'll fix this, Mom. Door click echoed lonely. Days blurred. He called hesitant. Work confirmed traces. Small, but there. Voice hollow. Confronted her gentle. Says it's impossible, maybe cross-quantum from hospital. Lie hung heavy. I pressed. Ask about antimony sources. Pause long. She got quiet. Said she'd look into it. Thanksgiving loomed, turkey thawing in fridge like a countdown. They came early, Lisa arms full, cranberry relish glistening red, rolls golden. Evelyn, you rest. I got this. Her hug squeezed too tight, perfume cloying. David avoided eyes, setting table clink clink. Air thick, forced chatter over appetizers. As she stirred gravy, wooden spoon scrape grate. I watched her reflection in window, lips moving silent, like prayer or curse. Dinner spread, turkey carved moist, stuffing herbed deep. I picked at mine, heart pounding visible under blouse. David same, fork pushing peas. Lisa ate hearty, laughing at old stories. Remember Tom's bad jokes? Tension coiled my gut, not food this time. Post-meal, as pie sliced, her pecan, nuts glossy in syrup, I stood. Lisa, we need to talk. Kitchen cleared, David flanking, faces stone. Her fork paused midair, eyes darting. What's this about? Voice high, plate clatter. I laid reports out, pages fan like cards. Toxins. In your dishes. Months now. Silence deafened, oven fan were low. Her face crumpled slow shock, then defiance. You're accusing me? After all I've done. David leaned in. Babe, the labs match. Your shifts, access to meds. She bolted up, chair screech. It's jealousy. You two, always thick as thieves. Him running to you, ignoring me. Tears welled, but rage underneath. Every hug, every call, mom this, mom that. I slaved in this kitchen, and you repay with suspicion. Hands bald, knuckles white. Truth spilled then, dam breaking. Fine. A few drops antifreeze syrup from work discards. Tasteless. Just to make you back off. Gasps twin mine, David's. Sick so he'd stay home with me. Not here. Her sob choked. You stole him. Betrayal landed like fists. My son, horrified, backed away. Lisa, how could? She crumpled to floor, sobs wrenching. I love him too much. Saw you fading, thought it'd work. Madness in eyes. I knelt slow, knees protesting, but fury held me up. Love doesn't poison, child. That's hate. David pulled her up gentle, but firm. We're calling police. Now. Her pleas tumbled, David, no. Family. But he dialed, voice steel. Sirens wailed distant, closing in. The squad car's lights flashed blue-red through the lace curtains, painting the dining room walls like a crime scene from one of those late-night shows. 2 officers stepped in, boots heavy on the hardwood. Officer Ramirez, stocky with kind eyes, and her partner, notepad poised. Lisa sat slumped at the table, mascara rivers down her cheeks, hands cuffed loose in front. David stood frozen by the window, fists clenched white at his sides. I poured coffee for the uniforms, hands steady from years of hosting crises, steam rising thin and bitter. Can you walk us through it, ma'am? Ramirez asked me, voice even, pen scratching soft. I nodded, spreading the lab reports like a deck of judgment cards, pages crisp under lamplight. Freezer bags thawed on the counter, samples sealed now in evidence. Pouches David had grabbed from his truck. Started with stomach issues after her meals, I said calm, tracing timelines on paper. Saved portions. Tests confirmed antimony, rat poison traces from hospital discards, she admitted. Lisa whimpered from her chair. It wasn't much. Just to make her sick enough to stay away. Ramirez's brow arched. Intent to harm? David cut in, voice cracking raw. She targeted my mom. Months. Jealousy. His eyes met mine, apology, rage, heartbreak swirled. Lisa lunged forward. David, please. I was desperate. You always chose her. They read her right slow, Miranda words hanging heavy. As they led her out, elbows gentle but firm, she twisted back. Evelyn, forgive me. I love him. Door shut with finality, engine rumbling fade into night. Silence crashed back, pie cooling untouched, pecan sticky pools. David collapsed into a chair, head in hands. Mom. God, I'm sorry. Sobs shook him, shoulders broad but boyish now. I rubbed his back circles like when he was 5, scraped knees. Not your fault, son. Love blinds. We talked till dawn, her growing resentment, late-night fights he'd hidden. Thought it was stress, he murmured, coffee cold. Never this. Action crystallized then, fury forging steel. Morning light gray through frost, I called my lawyer, Harold, old Tom Crony, bowtie always crooked. Evelyn? At 7 a.m. Chuckle faded as I detailed. Poisoning? Christ. Restraining order first, then charges push. Papers filed by noon, protection, evidence logged. David took leave from work, face gaunt, packing her clothes into boxes by the garage door, folded neat, perfume ghosts lingering. I dove into proof gathering, methodical as canning peaches. Hospital called discreet, friend in admin confirmed Lisa's access to waste meds, shift logs matching my sick nights. Photos snapped of kitchen spots she'd prepped, cabinets her domain. Journal entries typed formal, dates, symptoms, witnesses like Mabel who'd seen my pallor post potlucks. Ironclad, Harold said over speaker, tapping keys. DA will prosecute attempted harm. David wavered nights, staring at her texts, I need you. It was a mistake. Delete. Block. She was my world, Mom. I'd brew cocoa, marshmallows melting slow. Worlds crack. Build new. Therapy suggested, church counselor, soft-spoken Ruth. First session, he broke, feel like I failed you both. Ruth nodded sage. Healing starts owning, not blame. Thanksgiving remnants cleared, house aired. Neighbors whispered, Mabel brought casserole, real chicken soup steaming. Heard the commotion. Strong woman, you. I thanked quiet, but inside plotted finale, Christmas Eve dinner. Family full, brother, uncle, Ray, cousins. Not revenge raw, but truth served cold. Cops updated weekly. Lisa arraigned, bail denied, flight risk, priors clean but intent clear. Confession taped, wanted her gone from our lives. Not dead, just sidelined. Psych eval pending, jealousy rooted deep from her fractured home. David listened once, phone shaking, then smashed against wall, crack spiderwebbing screen. My body rallied too. Fresh labs clean, energy creeping back like spring thaw. Walks resumed, crunching snow paths, breath fogging prayers. Thank you for sight, I'd whisper, leaves stirring reply. David and I bonded tighter, evenings piecing puzzles, her subtle digs replayed, red flags waving hindsight. Should have seen, he'd grown. We both missed. Laughter edged in, healing tentative. One night, porch swing creak, stars pricking black, you're my rock, Mom. Hug warm, no poison between. Harold called eve of holiday feast, DA's ready. Your call on pressing full. I paused, gravy simmering behind. Justice, not vengeance. Not unspoken. The plan set, table full, truth centerpiece. Not scream, but reveal dignified. For family. For us. Christmas Eve dawned crisp, snow dusting the evergreens like powdered sugar, the air sharp with pine from wreaths on every door. Our home glowed lights. Twinkling in windows, table set for 12, Uncle Ray and Aunt Clara from Cleveland, cousins Jenny and Mark with their 2 boys, Mabel and her husband, even Pastor Bill who'd insisted on coming. Family sticks, Evelyn, he'd said on the phone, voice warm as mulled cider. I'd spent days prepping, not a single dish from Lisa's recipes. My turkey roasted golden, stuffing sage-scented, pies cooling on racks, steam whispering sweet. David helped silent, chopping celery rhythmic, face set like carved oak. Boxes of her things sat sealed in the garage, labels stark, Lisa's donate? No calls today, bail hearing denied her release. Tension hummed under his smiles for guests, but resolve anchored us. The plan wasn't mine alone, Harold advised, Ruth counseled, truth public, dignified. Let family witness judge. Guests arrived bundled, cheeks rosy from cold, hugs squeezing tight. Evelyn, you look brighter. Clara exclaimed, unwrapping fudge, chocolate melting soft. Laughter filled rooms, boys chasing with toy trucks, brooming over rugs. Mabel cornered me by sink, suds bubbling. Heard whispers. You all right? I nodded, drying hands on apron. Tonight, all cards down. Dinner at 6, candles flickering soft on white linens, silverware glinting. Grace said, hands linked, David's palm sweaty in mine. Turkey carved juicy, passed with murmurs of bless this table. Chatter flowed, Ray's fishing tales, Jenny's new job. My heart thumped steady, fork pausing midway. Dessert cleared, pie slices vanishing fast, moment arrived. I stood slow, glass raised. Family, thank you for being here. But before gifts, a hard truth. Room hushed, spoons clinking still. David slid the folder across. Lab reports, confession transcript, photos of evidence bags. Lisa poisoned me. Slowly. Months of her meals laced with toxins. Jealousy over David and me. Gasps rippled, Clara's hand to mouth, Ray's fork dropping clang. Jenny whispered, no. Pastor Bill leaned forward, eyes grave. Evelyn. I opened pages. Voice even, reading dates. September potluck, nausea hit mid-service. Her apple crisp. Symptoms listed raw, cramps twisting nights, dizziness blurring days. Labs don't lie. Antimony from hospital waste she confessed taking. David spoke then, throat clearing rough. Confronted her Thanksgiving. Admitted envy. Wanted mom out of the picture so I'd focus on her. His fist clenched napkin. Cops arrested her that night. Charges pending. Attempted harm. Chaos erupted gentle, questions tumbling. Poison? Our Lisa? Mark asked, boys wide-eyed quiet. Clara teared up. That sweet girl. Mabel nodded sage. Seen the strain. But this. Ray boomed protective. Damn her. You press charges, Ev. I met eyes round table. Justice, Ray. Not hate. She needs help, roots deep, her own losses. Phone buzzed then, Harold on speaker, prepped. For record, Lisa Harper, arraigned yesterday. Bail denied. Psych eval shows jealousy disorder, but intent clear. Transcript played soft, her voice tinny, broken, just drops, to make her back off. Love him too much. Silence thick, pie forgotten cooling. Consequences unfolded swift. Jenny hugged me fierce post-reveal. Courageous, Aunt Ev. Pastor prayed impromptu, hands folding ours. Forgive is healed. Whispers spread post-dinner, Ray calling kin. Don't contact her. Church loop buzzed by morning. Hospital fired her quiet. Ethics breach. David faced fallout hardest, cousins pitying pats. Sorry, man. But support swelled. You did right, Bill told him porch side, snow falling featherlight. Inside, boxes shredded for trash, her scarves, lotions tossed. Closure tangible. News rippled community, corner store clerks, heard about your DL, awful. Mabel's casserole train continued. Lisa's family, distant sister, called apologetic, shocked. She's always been fragile. No visits granted, jail calls to David ignored. Public truth lifted weight, like shedding soaked coat. No vindication dance, just nods from those who mattered. Justice rolled slow. Gears grinding fair. The weeks after Christmas blurred into a gentle thaw, snow melting to rivulets down the gutters, carrying away the winter's weight. Court dates loomed, but life insisted forward, seeds poked through garden soil, crocuses nodding purple in first sun. David moved back home temporary, his starter house echoing empty, boxes stacked neat in the spare room. Mornings, we'd sip coffee on the porch swing, creak familiar, steam mingling with birdsong. Miss the old rhythm, he'd ask, stirring sugar slow. I'd smile soft. New ones forming, son. Healing started small, bodily first. Follow-up labs glowed clean, no traces lingering, liver numbers dipping normal. Walks lengthened, legs steady on gravel paths, breath deep without hitch. Dr. Ellis beamed at checkup, stethoscope cold on chest. Remarkable recovery, Evelyn. Whatever you did, keep it. I chuckled inside, truth, exposure, time. Appetite returned true. I cooked boldly now, my lasagna bubbling sans fear, cheese stretching golden strings. David devoured seconds, eyes crinkling. Better than hers ever was. His heart mended fractal. Therapy with Ruth twice weekly, porch confessions after, feel guilty, mom. Chose wrong signs. I'd squeeze his hand, calluses rough from work. Love teaches slow. You're wiser now. Dates crept in hesitant. A coworker picnic, laughter tentative. No rush, I'd say, folding laundry his. Ruth helped unpack jealousy roots, Lisa's childhood absent dad, clinging fierce. Understanding softened blame, not excuse. Family knit tighter. Uncle Ray drove down weekends, grilling burgers smoky, stories booming loud. Proud of you too, steel spines. Cousins' boys visited, building forts from couch cushions, giggles chasing shadows. Jenny started a group chat, Harper strong. Mabel hosted Bible study at hers, circle warm with lemon bars crumbly sweet. Pastor Bill dropped sermons tailored, boundaries as love. Church embraced, no whispers, just nods affirming. Lisa's case progressed measured. Plea deal offered, attempted harm reduced to reckless endangerment, probation, counseling mandated. Psych report detailed, pathological envy, untreated trauma. David attended one hearing, suit crisp, returning drained but closed. Saw her thinner, eyes down. Apologized through glass. No tears from him, nod only. Forgive process, not instant. I wrote no letter, prayed instead. Kitchen candle flickering nights. Spring bloomed full. Garden thrived, tomatoes swelling red, basil pungent under fingers. David planted with me, dirt caking nails. Like old days, huh? Laughter easy now. His promotion came lead engineer, raised solid. Toasting you tonight, I said, glasses clinking over roast chicken crisp-skinned. One evening, sunset painting sky peach, he sat me down. Mom, thinking engagement again. Slow, right person. Heart swelled, pride, not loss. Whoever she is, she'll be lucky. But vet her cooking first. Wink shared, tension shattering to chuckles. Deeper healing bloomed inward. Nights in my rocker, needles clicking Afghan soft, reflections wove peace. Betrayal taught sharp, love trusts but verifies, bonds need tending like roses, prune rot gentle. Jealousy poisons quiet, speak shadows early. Strength lives not flawless family, but one's rebuilt deliberate. David thrived too, gym routine carved shoulders broader, smiles genuine. Dates progressed. Met Sarah once, quiet librarian, eyes kind without edge. She asks about you, he grinned. Future hinted warm. Summer hinted, plans for lake cabin, just us two first. Rods, bait, water lapping docks. Normalcy reclaimed, richer textured. Lesson settled bone deep, family isn't blood alone, nor marriage vow unbreakable. It's choice daily, weeding weeds before roots grip. Weed faced poison, literal, heart, and emerged purified. Tighter unit, yes, but independent too. My boy, my home, my peace, ours, untainted. As I sit here now, rocker creaking soft under me, the summer breeze carrying jasmine. Through the open window, I look back on that poisoned path, not with anger anymore, but gratitude for the clarity it brought. David and I were stronger, our bond tempered like steel and fire. Lisa's shadow fades, she's in counseling upstate, letters unanswered but forgiven in prayer. Life moves, Sarah's visits warm the table now, her laughter genuine, no secrets simmering. We've learned the hard way, jealousy festers silent, but truth sets free. Protect your circle, speak suspicions early, and never let envy steal your peace. Trust, but test the waters. What would you have done if it was your kitchen, your family dinner turned deadly? Would you have saved those samples, confronted at the feast, or walked away quiet? Share your story in the comments, I read every one. If this hit home, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more real tales from the heart. Healing starts when we talk. God bless.